Hey, what's up, y'all? It's us, the Nerdy Volume, here for another episode. Today, we're going to be talking about the Uncanny Counter, Season 2, Episode 7 and 8.
All right.
So sit back, relax, and turn it to 11. So, kind of want to bring it out that, like it was unfortunate, but you did. You were hoping that Mr. Ma didn't go the dark side.
Nope. Yep. I mean, yes, I was hoping he wasn't, and he definitely.
Oh, he definitely was. 100%.
Definitely did.
And I don't know why. I personally, I don't know why. Because, well, he had the evil spirit, all talking up in his ears, like, "Hey man, do some evil stuff." Or no, "Hey man, do some evil stuff."
Yeah.
Can't really do it. Last time
it kind of hurts your throat.
Yeah. I sounded like as if Trump was Batman or something like that.
He definitely did. That was funny.
And yeah, so you see Mr. Ma finally getting what he thinks, I believe, is revenge, right? He gets his revenge, and he claps Mr. Songuk, the guy that works for Baekdu. In the meantime, Hana also gets pierced by some kind of like pipe, dude.
Yeah.
I was just like, is she dead?
A steel rod.
Like, yeah. I was like, what happens to her now? Because, normally they do what? Flesh wounds. They're not so much not so much piercing, but more flesh wounds. Mm-hmm. It feels like they do that. I'm not sure I don't know exactly to what extent does Miss Chu become or heals. I don't know.
Her ability can't do it anymore.
Or I don't know how strong or how devastating a wound is. Too devastating for her to heal.
Right.
And so, Hana's all like jacked up by that steel rod, metal rod. And I'm just like, is she dead? I thought she was dead. Not gonna lie. Because I'm just like, can they heal that?
Yeah.
Like, we don't know.
Yeah.
Because they haven't been impaled before.
Right.
At least not that I've known, And so that whole fight is going on between Mr. Ma, Somun, and, Mr. Park is on the ground, or Park Sunguk is on the ground, dead. And then you just see, you see Somun like, I begged you. I pleaded. And then all of a sudden, he goes ahead and throws like a psychic wave. And the guy is all of a sudden, he's able to combat that. And I thought, really? Able to do that? I was like, that's a little unfair. Like, all he needed was a soul, and then he's all of a sudden like almost up to Somun.
Yeah,
that doesn't make any sense. I don't.
No, I like I've already said this before, right? Like, how is he? Where all his abilities coming from?
Right.
How does he already know? Can see territories, could talk through territories, can use telekinesis or psychokinesis. I don't know, but it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, so we got that whole situation happening, and it doesn't make sense. But even then, because I think I said this in the last episode, I'm like, they might be, par, like on par with each other. They're not. So Moon is still
very powerful.
After they're fighting in their fight. So Moon kind of knocks him out. He actually wins the fight, right? And if he was so. I'm like, bro, stop thinking about it. Yep. Why are you thinking about
Why are you hesitating?
What's it called again? When they
summoning?
When they summon the spirit. I'm like, just do it. If it wasn't for his 2 seconds of hesitation, episode 7 would have been that little 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Would have been the end of it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because if it wasn't for that, but of course he hesitated, and Mr. Huang took that small sliver of time to come and combat him. Because now, and uses Mr. Ma's unconscious body to because he knows he still doesn't want to kill him, even though he's been now possessed and he has absorbed the soul. He doesn't want to kill him, but because it's still his friend.
Right.
But so Mr. Huang uses that to his advantage, tries to kill Mr. Ma while he's trying to fight him, like he's using him as a decoy or
a scapegoat.
Yeah, something like that. And so with that, of course, Mr. Wong takes Mr. Ma, right? Because I don't think he wakes up. I think he takes both. He kind of knocks out.
Yeah, he takes him away.
Moon.
Yeah, and leaves
Gelly
up with Hana.
Right, she thought.
Yeah.
She thought she could take Hana because Hana has been pierced by a freaking iron bar.
Yeah. And
she thought
so
wrong.
Moon goes back up there because he sees the fight And that's where Gilly's like, where did Mr. Huang go? He's like, yo, did he really leave me? You know?
Yeah, and he did.
She felt utterly betrayed.
Yeah.
And well, to me, he was just trying to save Mr. Ma, which is a teammate. I thought that they were trying to.
That's really nice of you.
I just figured because Mr. Huang was trying to, get him to use the evil.
Right.
And the evil spirit is saying, like, no, they're our allies. You know what I mean? Like, they're trusted kind of thing.
Interesting. I totally see it as he saved Mr. Ma over Gilly because Mr. Ma is a much more valuable partner than Gilly is.
That is true.
And that's why he saved it, because he knows Mr. Ma is the right tool to use against the counters. Gilly is just a crazy demon who just wants her revenge on Hana for taking her eye, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, if Mr. Huang has to choose between the two, Mr. Ma is obviously the more oh my gosh.
Experienced?
No, man,
or
why
powerful, or more valuable.
Valuable, thank you. Gosh, me and words today. I don't know what's going on with me. But yeah, Mr. Ma is definitely the more valuable partner to have. And yeah, she gets left behind. And what does Hana say is like, the difference between you and me, you fight alone and I don't. Or you're alone and I'm not. Right? And then right when she says that, So Moon jumps up and the rest of the gang is coming in the 4x4.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
They
ride together,
up.
we die together.
Exactly.
Except let's hope nobody dies.
Yeah,
let's not do that.
Let's keep because Sejong, like when she was struggling there, a K-pop fan in me was crying. You know what I mean? She's Miss Gugudan and IOI or 101, I guess. Well, that's the guy's one. IOI is the girl. See, don't ask me. It's a K-pop thing. If you know, you know.
So of course Gilly runs away. Right, she's like, she's not gonna try to fight all of them, especially Samoon. She knows Samoon is just gonna tear her apart. Yeah. So,
and then we go into Motok now. Motok is at the police station, and he's trying to look for more clues to help his case, or the case against the Bakdu company.
Right.
And there's all these strings of just corruption within the company, and he's trying to figure things out based off of the gangs and stuff like that with the Rose.
Yeah.
And so we see Motok talking about it at the police precinct, and then you skip over. Then you see the CEO or maybe the president of the Bakdu company, Lee Chung-jae, I believe his name is. Yeah, Lee Chung-jae. And you just see how just like he's whack. You know what I mean? Like he's one of those
a horrible
terrible people, and he thinks that only it's weird. Like it's not that it's weird that how he is. Because people like him, it makes sense. He thinks that no one should be treating him terribly. He thinks he should be the one that's like ruling over tons of things. He feels that he needs to be extraordinary in other people's eyes, and it's weird because he's hiding.
Yeah.
He's hiding so he doesn't get in trouble. He's hiding from Mr. Huang because that dude is dangerous. I get it.
Well, and on top of that, Mr. Lee is supposed to be dead. And,
yes.
Everything is weird because everything is connecting to Mr. Lee. And they're like, how is it connecting to Lee when he's dead? Right? So that's kind of like in Motok's head. He's like, I don't understand why Lee is at the center of this when he's no longer here. Of course, they find out that he's not, or that he's not dead, that he's still alive, right? Because they read somebody's memory and they see, it was the boy, the guy that Miss Chu saves in her first mission. They like read his mind at some point. And they realize that he was talking to Mr. Lee not that long ago, and they're like, "Wait, how is he still alive?" So they realize that the leader of the Potok, is that what the
Motok?
No, the company, the Baekdu, right? That he's still alive. So everything is pointing to him, and he's a freaking. Oh, I hate this guy. I hate this guy so much, right? Because they do a flashback when
with Minji,
Mr. Ma and Mr. Huang are talking to each other, and he's like, the person you want to kill because they already killed Kim, right? It's like the person you actually want to kill is Lee because he's the bad guy, and he's like, Lee is dead. No, he's not, says Mr. Huang.
Yeah.
He lied, right? So it's like that's the guy you want to go look for because he's really bad. Remember what he did to your wife, right? And it was it sends us back to the same scene where they're in the car and you see Mr. Kim is about to slap him and Mr. Lee is like,
Park.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Park is gonna slap her and Mr. Lee is like, no, right? And you're like, oh, okay, he seems like a nice guy. No, he's worse. He's so much worse because he's condescending in everything he does. I hate that man. I hope he dies.
And doesn't he like spit on her?
Yeah, that's the worst part. He's like, oh. he grabs the umbrella from one of his things. It's bright. She lost her mind apparently because he's like, oh, it must be raining. And gives her an umbrella and she's like, it's raining. And he's like, and spits in her face. And I'm just like, first of all, I clap for the actress who plays Minji because to get spit in the face and you just sitting there with it, I'm like, that's nasty. Yeah. Even if we are acting, that is nasty.
Yeah, that bad boy was hanging on her cheek.
It stayed on her.
I was just like, oh.
And then she's like, yeah, it is raining. I'm like, are you kidding me? I think that's the proper term for what's it called? Gaslighting. Don't get gaslit by this man. What are you talking about? And of course, Mr. Ma comes because he sees the abuse that's happening to his beloved, and he's like, oh heck no. And his bodyguards kind of punch him in the face and whatever, and then they leave. They're like, let's just get out of here. It's not even worth it. But yeah, and you're just like, you know what? Kill him. How dare he? He's a horrible person. Just so bad. And in the way I'm like, how does his bodyguard just not kill him? The way he treats his bodyguard, the big guy, bro.
Probably got something on his family or something.
I guess.
It's gotta be. There's no other person.
He doesn't seem like he has a lot of people left. I mean, Mr. Lee, but I don't know. And I'm just like, how is it that your gang hasn't like just turned on you now and killed you? But I don't know. People are crazy sometimes. So greed will allow you to get abused because it means you get a little cash, whatever.
Yeah. He's like, this man pays me $40,000. He do whatever he like. You know.
Throw toilet paper at me, hit me with I think it was like a tennis racket or a golf.
I think so.
It was something or other. But so you get that whole scene and it's like it's just annoying. It's so upsetting. So last week's episode, if you caught anything from last week's episode, I asked a simple question: do the people who get possessed die when the spirits get why do I keep forgetting?
Summoned?
Thank you. Yeah. Why do I keep forgetting that word? When they get summoned? And you said no.
I said no, because the spirit is being summoned, not so much the physical
person
body.
Yeah. And I was like, we never see any of the possessed people after the evil spirits get summoned from them.
Yep, especially in the first season.
It's like the director knew I was gonna ask that question because literally in episode 7, Gilly goes see Wong in prison, and I'm like, oh, I guess they don't die because Wong, there he is, he's in prison.
Completely different too.
Oh yeah, I mean he's still bad. You could tell that he. Because he's still, it wasn't just the evil spirit, right? Mm-hmm. And which brings to the point that, like we said last week, like you can't get possessed, it looks like, unless you're evil or you have some kind of evil intent, which Mr. Ma Revenge is an evil intent. So,
and you know what I love about a lot of K-dramas with evil people, or specifically with supernatural, you see when they are taken over or possessed, or they have something evil, something bad within their character. Their hair is always like gelled up.
They look like punks or something.
They look like. And then
very typical stereotype.
Right. And then when they become regular people, it looks like they just got out the shower. You know?
That is so true.
And their hair, they just dried their hair, and it was just all just like, I guess that would be the normal look. And I was just like, why is Wong's hair look like he just dried it from after taking a shower or something?
Right. He just came from the shower.
Yeah.
Let's hope he didn't drop the soap.
Probably did. I mean, you saw his nails, right?
Oh man,
his colorful nails.
How do you even get those? Oh, they were still painted from before he went to prison. Yeah, because he was peeling them
black,
off.
Right? He had the black ones.
Yeah. But Gilly goes sees him, and she's pissed. By the way, she's pissed because she feels that Mr. Huang has abandoned her.
Yeah.
To let her to be,
like how he abandoned Wong.
Yeah.
So Gelly's like all up in her feels.
But did he abandon Wong?
Or was he being destroyed by someone?
Yeah, like it's not.
Well, I think it was because he decided to stay to test his might towards someone.
True. I mean, but like you're a evil spirit. You all have the same goal. You're all self-absorbed, self-indulging, right? That you do the things what you want to do. So why is Gilly acting like she don't know this is gonna happen? Like, come on, we already know this is
no honor amongst thieves.
Yeah, but she goes there and kills Wong, not Huang, and which we'll get to a little pet peeve of mine later on in this episode. But yeah, so she does that. She kills him, and I'm like, oh. And then when she leaves the prison, by the way, her Men in Black suit looked pretty dope, and her black eye patch. I was like, it was like the ones that don't have the strap on them because it just like attaches to your eye. I'm like, sick.
All right, Gelly, I'm jelly.
Yeah, and Mr. Huang goes to see her, and she's like, you left me behind. And he's like, what? I didn't leave you, girl.
What do you mean, babe?
What are you talking about?
It's us all the way.
Exactly, pretty much. And she ain't buying it.
Not
But she has to
much,
be careful, right? Because if she pushes too hard, Mr. Huang is just gonna snap her neck and kill her.
Absolutely.
I mean, she knows that he's still stronger than she is, so she can what's the word, like have a tantrum, but she can't go too far. Although she did try to stab him in the neck with her little fisticuffs.
Mm-hmm. And Mr. Wong is just like, how dare you? Who do you think you are? Kind of face. And I like his face too. Mr. Wong always thinks that like everyone else is crazy except him, even though we all know that dude is cray. Going through all of this as a team, and or for Somun and them, and then you have Mr. Wong's team. It makes sense that they would fall apart because they can't fight Somun individually, none of them. But as a group, they can. But because Mr. Huang didn't work as a group, they lost every time. Mr. Huang, he has his own ambitions,
right,
to what to do with someone, and
he wants to be stronger.
And the characters. Yes, he obviously wants to be stronger than someone ever could be.
He wants to be
the
only
best.
one.
Yeah, he wants to be the one. He's a Highlander.
Yeah, pretty much.
And so while that's going on, remember how I was saying Motok was at the police precinct?
Yeah, trying to figure things out. Mm-hmm.
So they were able to figure out where the next, I guess, heist would be, and that's to swindle people out of a certain neighborhood so they can develop it.
Right.
Which is
pretty much the same thing they've been doing.
Yeah.
It's like the same MO.
Yeah. And so you see Miss Chu seeing an old face, an old acquaintance, I want to say, Lee, I don't know how to say this, or Lim Jae-yul. And to give context, he's an old acquaintance because he was one of the first people that Miss Chu helped when she was
in her first mission.
Yeah, in her first mission.
Right.
Yeah, and she sees that he's working with these gangsters.
Right.
She obviously doesn't. It was a surprise to me. Somun and party decided to wreck the gangsters' plans because I'm pretty sure they're not supposed to involve themselves in human things.
Issues.
Yeah.
Right. That's why they were lying. Right. Because they were like, because what's his name? The one that smells. What is his name? Today is a bad day for me, apparently.
Jungbook?
Yeah, Jungbook. He's like goes undercover, right, at the gangster, like where they're having these events for the people to where they're swindling these people. He almost gets swindled himself because they start showing him pamphlets. And he's like, oh yeah. Really? And Motok in his ears like, stop! What are you doing? Why are you
focus on the plan?
He's like, oh, I gotta show my father these things. And I'm like, bro, you're the worst undercover.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But they eventually go back home. Oh gosh, in his uniform with like his little 70s, 80s, 90s both
corduroy
suit and his ginormous like 3-inch tie that he had.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, what are you wearing? But they go back. And they're like, oh, we got to do something about this. We can't let this happen again. But because it's not a spiritual problem, like they're not fighting evil spirits, these are just regular evil people. They're like, oh, wait, Jobuk, you smelled something from there, right? And he's like, what? Did I smell something? Like, oh, yeah, you were saying you smelled like an evil spirit there or something. He's like, oh, yeah. And so they're all like talking like, oh, yeah. So that their counterparts wouldn't know that they're doing something against the rules. So okay, if they're dealing with demons, it's okay. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was hilarious. They're like, yeah, we gotta go and take care of them evil spirits. And Motok is like, right? Okay, let's go. I was busting up. Like, that's hilarious.
It's always funny having to tell the most innocent person to get out somewhere. But you gotta make them believe that's true.
Yeah.
And then when they finally do get out, he's like, dude, come on, man. Get with the program.
He's like, come on, bro. What and he's like, oh, yeah, I did smell something bad. It was horrible. It's like, took you forever, buddy.
Yeah, and no. So they scrapped with the gangsters, and obviously the gangsters stood no chance. I mean,
none whatsoever.
Not even
it was wonderful. It was a wonderful like little vacation for them from after dealing with some serious issues. These gangsters were like child play to them. So
absolutely,
it was hilarious. It was they go there to where all the they collected all the people, and they were pretty much what's the word? I'm gonna need a dictionary for this episode, or we should have a counter of how many times I say what's the word, because I've said it like 12 times. But where they're like strong arming the people to sign leases or signing the
Their
paperwork.
house away.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm like, oh man, I hope somebody does something about this. And luckily they came.
And they do something about it. And you see someone like literally make them grab their own nuts. That was kind of funny.
That was hilarious. And slapping each other.
Yeah. And I'm like, ow. I was just like, can you imagine? Like normally your brain tells your body not to do certain things because it's painful. However, someone can tell your body what to do too.
Right.
So, ow, I gotta say.
And you had, because the people were still there. They were just like put aside. And Miss Chu was like, oh, what are all these people doing? Why are they slapping each other? Like, she's trying to like make it seem like they're the ones doing it. Yeah. It's like, these people are crazy. And of course, one of them tries to run away, which is Jaehoon. Yeah. And she goes after him, and that's when she sees him, and she's like, that's where she feels like partially responsible. Yeah. Right? Because she saved him and thought that because she saved him, he was going to be okay. Because he wasn't a bad kid. He's going
to have a regular life. You know, maybe have children.
Obviously, he didn't go that route. He decided to join a gang. You later find out is because his grandmother passed away, and that made him go through some hard times, which led him to where he is at now. Mm-hmm. But so that all happened, and that was pretty sad.
It was. And you know, for that whole, you see that Miss Chu talks to her son, who is her like angel, I guess, counterpart. Yeah. And she's like, we've been in this for a long time, right? He's like, yeah, about 9 years, I think. I was like, dang, 9 years. I thought she was in there. I thought she was the first. However, I think Motok was there before.
Yeah, he was. And who knows who was before them? Like, right. Obviously, there was. Exactly. Oh, Director Choi. The Director Choi was probably part of it because he was a counter. He retired.
Oh, that's true. And the guy that they had, I forgot his name.
The one that
someone took over. Yeah. He was also probably an OG. And so you see that after all this going on, you know, Miss Chu feels guilty because, you know, Jaehoon is the way he is. Enter Dewey or Doohui. And they go and have lunch with them because they're all just like, you know,
he's the one who brought the cops to where the scandal was happening.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh, you're here, and he's like, I know, why are you here? And she's like,
I'm just hanging out, chilling,
whatever.
And then so they all decide to have lunch with this guy and grill him like a family would.
And Jokbung was he as green can be? Like he was so jelly.
Yeah. Yeah, he was, oh man, super green with envy. It didn't make any sense to me that he's all like, I don't know why you guys are all happy. What about my feelings? But like, no one knew his feelings, dog. I was just like, no one's ever made it known, and she don't like you, dog.
She don't like you. It's unfortunate, I guess, but she doesn't.
I mean, like, if someone being the beastiest of beasts in that group isn't with her, I was like, bro, you barely know how to use your own powers, you know? I'm like, I try to feel bad for the guy, but you can't. Half the time. So after the lunch, you know, there's that whole scene. By the way, you see that Miss Chu goes out and reaches out to
her counterpart. Oh no, to the guy.
Lim Jaehoon, and she wants to kind of, I guess, well, at least that's what she's trying to do. And Mr. Ma is actually after other people because you see that him, Mr. Huang, and Mr. Ma, who Mr. Ma wants to get rid of, those who did his family wrong. Yeah. And the first person that Mr. Huang brings up is the coroner. And so you see that Mr. Ma has another mission because remember when him and So Moon was fighting in the beginning of the episode and he was just like, yo, man, oh no, I'm not even finished. That's what he told So Moon. Who else are you going to get rid of? I mean, like, other than Mr. Huang, because we all know why it would be Mr. Huang, but not freaking Mr. Ma.
Well, and it just proves a point. It proves a point that revenge doesn't solve the issue, right? No. It doesn't do anything except just take another life, because the whole time he's just like, if I kill Mr. Lee, it's all settled. No, not Mr. Lee, sorry. Mr. What was his name? Mr. Park. Point. Mr. Park. If I kill Mr. Park, it's all done. It's all done. It's all done. But it's not. Now he wants to get vengeance on every person who was involved in the, you know, responsible in some way, shape, or form of Minji's death.
Which to me is a lot longer take. So, you know, you see Mr. Ma going on this rampage. And then, remember when everybody was at lunch? Yeah. After lunch, Hana and Dewey decided to have a conversation in the park with Bubbles. And I was just like, okay, all right, we get it. She has a dude that she liked in high school. Should be So Moon. but you know,
My
Plot
wife
armor.
keeps saying
No.
it's not gonna be him.
Yeah, I
it's
know.
not gonna be him.
I gotta-
Leo. It's not gonna be him. Don't tell me that. We can all dream.
Yeah, you don't tell me what to do. And then you see, Gelly in the background
Yeah.
watching this going on,
Yeah.
and instantly I thought, well, he's gonna be in danger.
He's gonna die.
Yeah, he's it's done so. And what do you know? At the school grounds, I believe they were at school, or were they?
Yeah, she goes. They go on another date like later on,
yeah.
and
After
they
the
go
lunch.
they go for a walk or whatever, and they end up at their high school,
Yeah.
right? And they, oh wow, everything looks exactly the same.
And then you see Gelly coming out of nowhere, trying to make Hana, like, I guess, worried about Dewey, trying to take him as a hostage.
Right, but right before that, not Gilly, sorry, Hana tells Dewey that this was going to be their last time seeing each other.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
She's like, it was fun times later.
Basically, not leaving him in the friend zone, leaving in the I don't know who you are zone,
Right,
stranger zone.
Yes, like we're not going to have anything like don't contact me, right? Which
Yeah.
I understand because she's afraid for his life. Very reasonable reason, because literally 2 seconds after that, that's when Gilly comes in and takes what's his face, Dewey,
Yeah.
as a hostage, and they start having their own showdown.
You get a little scuffle, and of course, like drama, when Gelly tries to hurt Hana, who gets in the way? Dewey gets in the way.
Must be a descendant of director Choi. Must be.
Gotta be.
He doesn't know it. It's one of
Yeah.
his children. He just doesn't know it because it's like, why? Don't get in the way, bro. Hana was handling herself perfectly fine. I mean, granted, she got a little cut on her eye, so she couldn't see, but she was about to use her other senses.
Yeah.
She was about to go daredevil once more, right? Use her hearing and the vibrations of the air and whatnot. But no, he comes in, gets hit in the back by Gilly's little thing.
Knuckle punch.
Okay, so this is my pet peeve that I said I was gonna bring up. Them claw thingies are about an inch at most. Ain't nothing gonna get damaged enough for him to almost die because he gets stabbed in the back like that.
Well,
Okay?
remember now, she has strength.
I understand that, but it wasn't that her hand went inside of his body. That there's not enough. I mean, unless she's causing some kind of like ultrasonic vibration is in his body, the punch itself will not in his back. It's gonna go into his muscle. Maybe if it hits his vertebra, maybe. If it hits one of his ribs, he might break a rib, but it's not hitting anything vital. There are no arteries, no organs that are vital enough for him to start that she needs to be worried about. It's just it's a little side note of mine, okay? Sometimes when people do things like that, I'm just stay a little realistic. That wasn't going to kill him. He was just going to have a really bad day tomorrow. His back was going to be hurting,
Or yeah, completely shattered.
That I can understand. If she hit so hard that it broke his back or something, that I would agree with. Now let's be worried. But if it was just he got stabbed in the back,
At least that's how he took it, right? He's like, whoa.
and I'm like, bro, you ain't gonna die from that. You ain't gonna bleed out, okay? That's what I'm saying. You're not bleeding out. So take that with how you will. You could agree or disagree. I don't know.
I feel like it's like getting hit in the back by a car.
If it's that, I can understand it.
Because then she doesn't necessarily need to do it with the knuckles. She
Right.
can do it with her own hand.
Yeah. And there's enough force in that to do it if she's that strong. Correct.
And he's human. He's not a counter, so he can't. There's no resistance or bounce back like how.
Right.
If Hana gotten hit, it would have just hit some of her organs. But that dude took it
From the back.
he got messed up. And I didn't think, I was just like, is he gonna die? I was like, how? That's funny that you brought it up. I was like, how's he gonna die? Like he hit him in the heart? I was like,
That's what I'm saying.
I'm
And
pretty
it didn't.
sure-
She hit him on the right side.
yeah, probably broke a rib.
That's what that. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like it's not gonna hurt. It's not like it probably wouldn't knock him the air out of him. I get that. I'm just saying he ain't gonna die. Hana was acting like he's about to go.
Yeah.
see you in heaven or something.
And we literally see that's the end of the episode.
No, because Mr. Huang comes in and he gets really pissed with Gilly because he's like, you're messing up my plans, and does the psychokinesis on both of them, and he's going to he throws them both. Then he sees that Dewey was knocked unconscious in front of him. He's like, oh, let me finish this off for her.
Let me go
right?
eat this soul.
And yeah, exactly. And as he goes, Hana pulls out the strongest psychokinetic force she's ever pulled out and whoosh, shoots him right into the side of a building with the trash can and everything. I'm like, yeah. And with that, she had enough time to run away and then take him back to their headquarters.
I can't.
And Gilly also leaves. She's like, I know. First of all, I know he's going to try to kill me because he said it. He said, I'm done with you, right? Because she's messing his plans, and she's like, I'm done with you. I'm going to eat you. That's what he said.
Yeah.
And so she's gone too. She's like, deuces.
Yeah, he's like, she knows he's dangerous.
Yeah.
Considering she can't even handle Hana, and if she can't handle Hana and So-moon is the stronger one, and Mr. Huang can't go up against So-moon, I mean, you can kind of see the power scale.
Yeah.
At least Gelly isn't an idiot, so that's what I like about her.
That's pretty much how that episode 7 ends, and episode 8 kind of starts in that same spot with Hana taking Dewey back to the place, and Mrs. Chu healing him, right, from a non-lethal attack. But hey, I get it. Your boy is hurt. Your heart is hurting. I get it, girl. I get you. Yeah. But after everybody kind of like leaves the room, he kind of wakes up. It's like, oh, is everything okay? And she's like, yeah, you okay? You shouldn't have stepped in front of me. You're dumb. You don't. I get it. You don't know who I is, but I'm pretty bad in my community. Okay.
I'm the coolest and I'm the rulest.
Yeah. And with that, she takes away his memories of anything that had to do with her.
Yeah.
That was super sad. Right, because even his from high school, right, everything was gone. She pulled all of those memories away, and I'm like, I get why you did that, because he's gonna continue to pursue you. That's an invasion of privacy. We're in 2023. That's a no-go. Okay.
Nuh-uh. Even
did you get consent?
Counter world.
Oh, yeah. I would imagine. I mean, yes, I understand that they do that all the time to everybody that sees them fighting, but that's a whole different matter. He didn't have to take away his high school memories
of her.
Right.
Yeah.
Messed up.
I'm like, wow.
I'm a little upset.
Yeah. But
I mean, I wanted her to be with So-moon, but I was kind of rooting for Dewey now because it's like, you're a good guy, bro.
He's a good guy. Yeah.
You're a little dumb, but you good.
A little not there. Stick to music. Musicians. And, it's really sad to see Hana have to be the one because she has that ability. That ability alone is pretty powerful.
No, I think they all can do it, or at least I know Miss Chu can do it too.
Yeah, you're right. Right.
But Miss Chu wouldn't have done it.
No, but Hana can choose select ones, I believe.
No, I get what you're saying, but Miss Chu could also do it because they always do it whenever people see them fighting. They all are part of the look into the pencil, please.
Right.
That's a Men in Blacks. That's 2 now. I put 2 in here for all of you who are MIB fans out there.
Yes.
But
I thought they could only do for the initial member.
I mean, maybe you're right. But whether or not Miss Chu can, Miss Chu wouldn't. I don't think she would take away the happy memories of him knowing Hana, because to her it's like, why would you take away something special from him?
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. Right. She wouldn't do it. Even if she could, she wouldn't.
And now earlier we brought up the fact that Mr. Huang there's more people. You see that the coroner is now being, I guess, interrogated by Motak.
Right.
It's like they got new information, so they're obviously going to run with it. They got a new lead, and that's when they meet the coroner. I believe Mr. Ma had already gotten to the coroner.
Yeah.
And so it takes it to the hospital and whatnot to get treated. And at the same time, Miss Chu finds
the boy
Jae-yool's house.
He's not a boy anymore, but yeah.
Yeah. And she starts to clean the house. And it makes sense that she's there because she knew about the grandparents, the grandma.
Motak told her that the grandmother passed away.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why he's in a bad way.
The mom in her.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so you see that she's trying to help out, and it does, or Jae-yool doesn't like it. However, because of Lee Chung-jae, the CEO guy, he wanted to get rid of these people the police officer and anybody who involved.
Crashed the party,
the scam party.
Yeah, the scam party.
And so Jae-yool, since he works under him, decided to drug Miss Chu.
Yeah.
And what do? They decide to kidnap Miss Chu. Now I get it.
They don't know anything.
They don't know anything. Yeah, they don't know anything about Miss Chu, about Motak. Yeah, about how powerful they are. It was so funny because they kidnap her from Jae-yool's house, and she just gets up. She's like, uh-oh. She's like, not because of her situation, but because of their situation. You don't want to call up my colleagues. Trust me, you don't. And they do. Motak literally comes in like a champ.
But I like how she's like, oh no, I'm kidnapped. Come and save me. He's like, what? He's like, I've been taken away and tied up. He's like, oh, okay, I'll be right there.
kind of like she forgot something at the house and he has to bring it to her at
Yeah,
the store.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's really funny how I'm just like, oh snap, they caught her, and I'm like, wait, they caught her? Can she get out on her own? She can literally break that rope, but I guess it's so that she can get more information. She stayed there, I believe. So with the kidnapping and these fools obviously thinking that they can take her, that didn't make any sense. How
They don't know any better.
Yeah.
They're infants.
Oh, completely.
Motok comes in, right?
I mean, wouldn't the gangsters say like, "Yo, I don't know what was going on, but they made me do some things to me."
No, because they erased their memories too.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Like the last scene right before the cop comes in with Dewey, is you can see, was it Hana? One of them was like erasing their memories of them fighting. What they made them think, I don't know, but yeah, and they're all arrested, so it's not like they can really communicate anything to. I guess they can get their one phone call. I don't know how it works in Korea with phone calls. So do they get their one phone call?
Calls. Do they get one at least?
Yeah, but yeah, Motok comes in, whoops their butt, and the right hand man of Mr. Lee, right, the one he constantly abuses.
Yeah,
is like
now he's kidnapped, right?
Well, no, he's standing next to Miss Chu, and Motok kind of looks at her, he's like, are you done resting now? Oh, we done messing around? And she's like, yeah, I think I'm ready. And she goes and snaps.
And I'm just, yeah, see, okay,
and
this
then,
makes sense.
Yeah, and then that's when the guy goes, oh, what? those were like freaking 2-inch thick ropes, and she just like,
yeah,
my turn.
No problems at all.
I was busting up. I'm like, these two are just too funny together.
Definitely a good. They have good chemistry.
Yeah. I mean, they've been doing it for 9 years.
Right.
Together. So
yeah.
But yeah, now they take that guy as a prisoner, the right hand man of Mr. Lee, and they kind of like use him to get where the heck Mr. Lee is. They find that he is, golfing. That he's golfing. Yeah. And he likes golfing and whatever. So then the next scene is him at the golf course hitting some putt. He's really bad apparently, and one of his balls goes into the pond. And he tells his I don't think it's his caddy girl, or it could have been his caddy girl, right? And he's like, go get it. And she's like, no, why am I gonna go get your ball?
Right. That's not how you play the game.
Yeah. And he kind of makes her bend down and put her head on the side and put the ball on her. I'm like, why are you letting him do this to you? Mm-hmm. Once again, I get it. Sometimes fear makes you do things that you rather get smashed in the face with a golf cart with a golf club than get killed. Doesn't make sense because golf club hitting you in the face might kill you. But right before he swings it, he gets a ball to his head. By the way, when I was like 9 years old, I got a ball hit right in my temple. A golf ball hit me right in the temple, knocked me the heck out. I went out cold for like I don't know how long. I came to my brother and a homeless guy who lived around the neighborhood, hovering over my body, and they're like, "You okay? You okay?" My brother's like, are you alive?" And I'm like, "What happened?" And the homeless guy's like, "Yo, some dude at the top of the hill, he was hitting golf balls, and one smacked you in the head." And I'm like, "What?" Yeah, he took off after he hit you.
Oh, geez, was it a golf course?
No. This was in the apartments that I lived in Canada. There was like a pool that they turned into a baseball field, and but that was like at the end of a hill, so he was at the top of the hill just smacking golf balls and smacked me right in the head, right in the temple. I'm surprised I didn't die, but I was like, really, that happened? I was groggy for the rest of that day, let's just say that for sure.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so he gets hit in Mr. Lee gets hit in the head, and it's Mr. Ma, and Mr. Ma is about to kill him, and Motok and Miss Chu show up to stop it.
Yeah, Miss Chu got tossed around like salad.
Yeah.
He was rolling up on the hill, I believe. I was just like, dang. All right, Mr. Ma, we get it. You're super strong.
Right. But Motok did a pretty good job of like kind of like holding his own. Right. Yeah. At least enough for Miss Chu to escape with Mr. Lee. Mm-hmm. Although that didn't happen either. Like Motok eventually got overwhelmed, and Mr. Ma was chasing him. I think he broke his hand. I want to say. I think Mr. Ma broke Motok's hand in the process, and he chases them. He's about to kill Mr. Lee after throwing Miss Chu again, but the territories come up, and he looks over, and the rest of the gang is coming. He's like, shoot, okay, I gotta go. Like I'll get you later, buddy.
You're lucky.
Yeah. So he leaves.
It wasn't for them and their stupid dog. You know?
Exactly, and their mystery machine. But yeah, he escapes. They take Motok, who is a lot more severely hurt than Dewey. Just throwing it out there. He's a lot worse. But they healed him. They even healed his hand. He's like, yeah, I'm okay. You know, we're going to take care of it. So they spent pretty much the rest of the time trying to find them because they can't find them anymore. They disappear. And they're like, how are you disappearing? They don't understand how they keep disappearing. Apparently, the evil spirits figured out how it works. They didn't yet, right? But we'll get to that part. Eventually, Jokbung, you know, he's scouring the city. They're like, they got to be somewhere in the city then. They're scouring the city. And then they get a phone call from Jokbung. And he's like, I smell him. Yeah. Right?
And beforehand, Mr. Ma and Mr. Huang decided.
Oh, yeah. By this point, they're like, it's time.
That we need
if we want to get rid of them.
Join hands.
Yeah. Fusion!
And so, they get a call and they found them at
Ma Huang.
Ma Huang. Huang Ma.
Huang Ma. Yeah, that's a better one.
and they go to this hotel, right? They go to this hotel, and we don't know why. You know, you just see that they're following them. And all of a sudden, they realize, I guess when they go up the elevator, that territory, or at least it can't be felt. And not even I thought about it. I'm just like, why can't it be felt? I thought it was literally from the ground all the way to the sky. At least for me, that's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't the case.
No.
It has to be within that barrier, even to the top.
The territory has an end to them. And you don't ever think about that.
Never.
And that's kind of genius on the writer's part. Mm-hmm. Because you have always seen the territory go up and stop. And you've never thought that it's just, like you think, it's just aesthetics.
Much. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's not. There is a limit to them.
Exactly. And because of that, they can't tap into the full going up against them. And that gives the demons the edge, which, like I said, that's messed up. I was like, that's way too convenient. And then I'm like, if they did do that, they would have a hard time. So they definitely needed that edge. And I'm like, how did we miss that they knew that?
Right.
You know, how did we miss that? I missed it.
And that was foreshadowed in like episode 2 or 3. No, episode 2. After the fight between So-moon and Wong, and So-moon broke his arm, they escaped. You remember that?
Yeah.
And then when they got back to the hotel, there was a part where they're like, I think it was Gilly who said, I don't understand why they don't follow us. And the next scene, I believe, was Mr. Huang looking out the window and the territories were up. And that's all you see. Well, I think that's the moment Mr. Huang understood. It's like, we're too high up. That's why they can't assist us anymore.
Wow, I didn't even realize. Dang. Okay.
Yeah. So I think it was episode 2. You could verify that if you want. But yeah, so I think that's when Mr. Huang realized, and that's why they stayed at the hotel all the time, because they knew by then that, like, okay, they can't sense us. This is why, because their abilities only reach a certain point, which this is it. So yeah, they go to the hotel thinking. Or to the, like, I think they're on the top floor too, and they go to they go to, I was like, damn, you got 123 floors on this building. Shoot,
the wall to floor is short.
Right? I was impressed. I'm like, this is a big building.
Yeah.
It's like, how long does it take that elevator to get to the top?
Jeez, yeah, for real.
It must be a really fast elevator. Like, if it gets you up there in like the next 2 or 3 minutes, it must be freaking jetting up there, right?
The G-forces.
Yeah, you must feel.
Anyway, you see the huge fight popping off.
Yeah, they realize it's an ambush.
Yeah, 100%.
Too late.
Too super strong. And while they were able to hold down a certain amount of people. I think So-moon had Mr. Ma.
Yeah, So-moon versus Mr. Ma, and everybody else versus Mr. Huang.
Yeah. And literally, who shows up in the elevator?
Right at the last second?
Right at the last second. It was Miss Gelly, and she literally looks at Mr. Huang like, I'm going to do something that you're not going to like. Once she figured out his plan, because like I said,
Gilly is smart.
She's not an idiot. Exactly, yeah.
She was thinking, while Mr. Huang is all about, I want to be the best that ever was. I don't know the rest of the song.
I want to be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause.
While he was obsessing over that, Gilly was like, something is happening.
Yeah.
Why do these people have these abilities? And she's like connecting all these points together.
All the dots.
Yeah,
Yep.
and then she's like, oh, I see. And she's read enough memories to go, oh, I get what's happening.
Absolutely.
But yeah, you're right.
It just doesn't. I guess it'd be better if we saw.
Hold up. This is a side note. Are you telling me that if you just scroll on the picture, it changes to the other account?
Yeah, on my phone it does that. Yeah.
So you just do this.
I just. Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah, I guess it does that. Yeah.
That's incredible. It's a Google thing. I didn't know that was a thing on. That blew my mind. I don't know how many.
Keep this in.
I don't know how many of you'll know that, but if you have multiple accounts on your Google, on your Chrome, and you have a touch screen, you can just swipe through the profile pictures, and it'll go to that picture or to that profile. Mind blown. But yeah, so yeah, you were saying, Gilly comes, she's like, I know something you don't. You want me to show you?
And what does she do? Takes away the memories of So-moon before he became a counter. One, some of it doesn't make sense because he was a kid when he was in that coma, remember? So he had to forget that part.
Right. He had to forget everything that was counter related.
And I'm just like, oh geez, that is insane. And so his hair gets super straight.
Yeah, you see his hair just like.
Yep. Because, instead of it being gelled hair, he had curly hair.
Right. That's the counter curls.
Yeah. When that happened, I was so angry. Because I was just like, well, what's going to happen now? I'm like, how is he going to get it back? I was like, is memory loss reversible? I was like, what's going on?
Good question.
I don't know.
They've never done that.
I was very angry. I was very angry at that situation.
At Gilly?
No, not Gilly. Just the
writer.
I guess it would have to be the writer. It would have to be because
it was that's the whole good job, Gilly.
Oh,
Gilly,
yeah.
you did something good.
Gilly did something crazy. And,
I mean, in a bad way, but yeah.
And I'm just like, how did this gonna happen? And so a ton of things was going through my head. Like, oh, is it going to be reversible? Does the counters in the other realm in Young, do they have to do some kind of ritual thing? There was a bunch of scenarios I was thinking of how does he get it back?
Well, and what's her name? What's his counterpart? Weekend disappears.
Yeah, she goes out somewhere.
The moment his memories get erased, which is kind of strange because I'm like, why does that make him lose his abilities? But I guess it's because he can't remember that he made a pact with the counters, their counterparts. Mm-hmm. That I guess is like it becomes non-effective, right? He can't do it since he doesn't remember, it doesn't happen, and so he loses his abilities. And in that process, Weekend gets and all the other counterparts are just like, what's happening?
Yeah. Like, where did she go? And she went to some kind of spirit realm. I'm not sure. It's not Young. Yeah, it's not a spirit realm. I would say like a mental realm.
We'll just call it what's it called? What is it? No, seriously, what is it called though? It's called if it's between heaven and hell.
Limbo.
It's like limbo, but there's another purgatory. That's the word I was looking for. She's like in purgatory of some sort. But yeah, so that was crazy. And Mr. Huang goes absolutely berserk.
Yeah.
He is so pissed because all he wanted was to beat So-moon. And now, if he beats him, it's not even beating him, right? Because it's not So-moon. The counter is So-moon, the regular human.
Yeah.
And Gilly knew that. And she's just laughing her head off. He's like, ah! And she's going insane with her laughter.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much how the episode ends.
And she basically keeps, dude, her laugh is crazy.
Yeah, she's got a good, crazy laugh.
Yeah.
Like evil, maniacal laugh, right?
I think her name is Kim Hyora. It's like Hioera. I think I don't know how to say that.
Hioera. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that's the actress that plays Gelly, and yeah, she's great. When I saw her in Bad and Crazy, I thought that was nice. But in this series, Gelly gets a thumbs up.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, she pulled one heck of a thing. I did not see that coming.
Me neither. I was just like, are you serious?
Yeah, I was like, what the heck did happen? My wife is like, what's going on? And I'm like, I don't know. We were both just freaking out. We're like, what's happening? What's happening? It's like, oh, and then the next thing I said was, oh shoot, they're about to all die then. Yeah. Because
they're done.
That's the only thing that's So-moon is like the only thing that can hold them back.
Yep. Ain't nobody else
he's
there.
Gone. And everybody else is like beaten, right? They're just getting their butts whooped by both of these two, right?
Yeah.
And like they're all knocked down. That's why they couldn't help So-moon, because they were all like flat on their backs, unconscious or whatever. And he's just, and like the scene just ends with him like before he goes back into unconsciousness. Is like a tear like falling from his eyes, like what is happening? But
literally one of the better endings of the series, because you're just like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have to see next time.
Yep.
On Dragon Ball Z. Anyway, that's gonna wrap up this episode. Don't forget to follow us on IG, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Anchor FM. You can listen to us every Monday on Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and Stitcher. Subscribe to the YouTube channel to check out our videos, and please leave a comment. And don't forget,
Ciao.